instead of an hour, 20 minutes.
Hal, come on in, I have your breakfast ready for you.
I'll be right there. I'm just getting the newspaper.
You didn't go down the driveway in your pajamas again, did you?
No one ever sees me. You look at this, newspaper's wet again. I don't know why the guy doesn't put it in a plastic bag.
How do you know it's a guy if you never see anyone in the driveway?
I don't know, it just seems like a guy job, that's all. What's with your toast?
Oh, this is my new gluten-free bread. You know, you want to try some? It's not bad.
No thanks, I like my glue. You know, that's why you're always hungry. No glue to stick to the ribs.
No, the reason I'm always hungry is gluten-free bread is this big and your bread is big. Anyway, you know, there's something I want to run by you.
Come on, Ruth, not first thing in the morning. At least let me go through the obituaries.
What is your fascination with the obituaries?
I just like to see if anyone I know died, that's all.
Listen, you don't see them for 2 or 3 days at the post office. Chances are they're dead.
No, I just like to pay my respects.
No, you don't. You just like the free lunches. That's all you like at the funerals. By the way, I heard there's a new lunch place on the green, mostly gluten-free, and I think I'd like to try it for lunch. What do you say we go there for lunch today? Are you listening to me?
Hey, isn't this Rudy Byler that we know? I think went to school with my brother. Take a look, what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. All those veterans look the same in the obits.
Well, sure, I'll go to that week, that's for sure. You know, every day in the newspaper, there's a couple of World War II veterans that have passed.
They're old. That's what happens to old people. They just die. Listen, I want to run something by you that I've been thinking about.
Let me just check the lottery numbers first.
What would you do if you even won the lottery?
I don't know, maybe go to Mongolia?
Mongolia? You'd have to go alone, mister. You know, I heard that you have to sleep in little tents there that they call yurts. They don't even have motorized vehicles in their outback or whatever the hell they call it. You have to ride yaks from one yurt to the other. No way.
What would you do?
Me? I always thought of a little pied-à-terre in Paris, you know, an atelier and artist's law.
Oh, Mimi, my little bohemian.
By the way, do you still read the birthdays in the newspaper?
You know, I don't know anybody on the list anymore. I can't even figure out what they do, let alone how they spell their names. And just let me finish the newspaper.
You know what this conversation reminds me of?
Oh, I'm sure you're gonna tell me.
Do you remember that Twilight Zone episode? Where the guy, all he wanted to do was read, and all his wife did was yap, 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 always interrupting him. He worked in a library. He's down in the bowels of the library, stacking books. And I don't know, there's an earthquake or end of the world, but anyway, all the books start falling off the shelves. He comes upstairs, he goes outside, and the whole world is gone. He's so excited. He runs back downstairs, he brings up stacks of books, and he starts stacking them. These I'm going to read this year, and these I'm going to read next year, and no wife to bother me. This is fantastic. He's exhausted, he's sweaty, he's dirty. He sits down on a bench outside, takes off his glasses, kind of dozes, gets up, so excited, steps on the glasses. Oh my God, you didn't know whether to laugh or cry, you know? That Rod Serling, he really knew how to push your buttons. Do you ever think about stuff like that?
Oh, sure, all the time.
Oh, I don't know, just hand over the entertainment section. Let me read that. You know what this reminds me of? Last week in the entertainment section, they had a whole article about those new walk-in bathtubs. I'm thinking that maybe we should consider getting one.
What do we have now?
No, we have a regular bathtub.
What's the difference?
Well, with the new walk-in tubs, you just, walk in.
Well, how do you get into our tub?
I have to climb over it, Hal, and get in.
Well, how do you walk into the new tub?
There's a door.
Well, doesn't all the water rush out?
Hal, you open the door, you walk in, you sit down, you close the door, and then you run the water.
How deep is this
It's
thing?
deep, it's deep. It's a soaking tub.
Well, how do you get out?
You drain the water, and then you open the door.
Where does the water go?
You drained it, and then you get out.
God, it sounds like an all-day project to me.
Yeah, it's time consuming, but, I just thought it would be a little safer. I could fall.
I'll help you get in and out when you need it.
Oh, I know you would, but I'm thinking this is for when you're unavailable.
You mean when I'm dead, don't you? That's what you do. When I die, you're going to buy a bathtub.
No, I just thought it would make a nice gift for a special occasion.
I'll sure put that on my list.
Oh, just let me do the crossword puzzle. No sense talking to you. Oh, mark an occasion.
Celebrate.
Yeah, that's it, celebrate. 70 plus 10.
70.
Oh, 70, gee, I should have known that. Happy, blank.
Trails.
Too short,
Happy Rockefeller.
too long. Do you think she's still alive, Happy Rockefeller?
No, I think she died in 2015.
Oh, yeah, you would know that. Bet she wasn't too happy when they found Nelson in bed with one of his little chippies.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, that's it. Happy birthday. Speaking of which, I have a big one coming up.
Big what?
Birthday, Hal, my 70th birthday. You haven't forgotten, have you?
How could I?
Well, I'm thinking this is a milestone birthday. And I'm thinking I want to do something a little different for this birthday. I want to kind of step out of the box a bit.
Oh, whatever you want, just bring it on.
I'm thinking tattoo.
No comment. You'll just forget about it.
Why don't you ever take me seriously?
I took you seriously on your 50th when you wanted to take flying lessons. And then on your 60th, you wanted to climb Mount Everest. And look what happened.
I know. I mean, it was stupid to take flying lessons. We live in Litchfield. We don't live anywhere near an airport. Was it my fault there was an earthquake in Nepal? I had nothing to do with that.
Let me get this straight. You're deciding between a bathtub and a tattoo for your birthday?
I'm keeping my options open.
Well, out of curiosity, would this tattoo be like a butterfly or maybe a peace sign?
A butterfly or a what do you think I am, some aging hippie? No, Hal. I gave this a lot of thought. I want this to have some meaning to me in my life. I'm thinking of either a turtle or a pitchfork.
A turtle or a pitchfork?
Well, we know I was a late bloomer, but I'm going to finish so strong, the tortoise and the hare thing. And the pitchfork, just picture a road with a fork in it, and you could take either way, and Hal, I'm going both ways.
Well, makes perfect sense to me. You know, people are gonna see that pitchfork and they're gonna think you're some kind of a witch.
No one's gonna see it.
Well, then why do it?
It's for me, Hal. I'm doing it just for me. But that's the problem.
What do you mean?
Well, if I put it somewhere where no one's going to see it, the person who does the tattoo has to see it, and I've never been very good taking my clothes off in public.
Oh, those people are professionals, you know, they've seen it all.
That's what you tell me when I go to get a pedicure. This is no pedicure.
I don't say that, I say they've seen worse.
Whatever. They haven't seen mine.
Have you? Have you seen yours?
Cut it out, Hal. You're making fun of me again.
Listen, just get one of your old nightgowns. You cut a hole in it where you want the tattoo to be. And that's all the tattooist will see.
Not a bad idea. Gee. Maybe then I could put it on my upper thigh. No, that's my least favorite body part. No.
Wait, I've got a better idea. Here, here's a permanent marker. Do it yourself. And on your next birthday, you can celebrate something different and you can just scrub it off with a brittle paddle.
You know,
And they come in colors too, please, they come in colors. Oh, boy, does the curiosity ever end?
You know, that's what they do in prison. They inject ink into their knuckles and they write four-letter words, you know, like love. Well, they don't write love. But then it's really messy and everybody knows that you did it in prison. I'd never do anything like that.
How do you know what they do in prison?
Orange is the new black. You know, that reminds me, I went to the tattoo store at the mall.
I believe they're called tattoo parlors.
Oh, yes, Mr. Hipster, tattoo parlor. And you'll never believe this. They don't just do tattoos anymore, they do body piercings. Now, I know you're picturing like body piercings, but they do body piercings. There was a poster in the front window of a woman. She was naked, but it was just her back. And they had implanted these metal rings all the way down her back.
Why would somebody do that?
That's not all. Then they wove a black satin ribbon between it, and they pulled it tight like she was Scarlett O'Hara getting into a corset, and they tied the big black bow over her behind.
You know, you could have that done on your thighs, and then it would be just like permanent Spanx.
Stop it, stop it.
Here, I've got another thought.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
Bend over. Now staple your butt together. Lace it up with an old shoestring, and you look just like the woman in the poster.
That reminds me, when I was back in art school, I mean, it was like a million years ago, and we were young, and it was in the new drawing class. And a woman came in now, she was our model. She had to be, we thought, like 50. We thought that was ancient. She had long gray braids, and she had 2 piercings here. We couldn't take our eyes off it. Now, nobody had seen anything like that in those days. I mean, this was like new stuff. And I often thought, why would she mutilate her body like that?
This is coming from a woman who wants to put a zipper on her back?
It's not a zipper, they were hoops, and I don't want to do it, I was just admiring them.
Oh, why can't we just go to the Red Lion Inn for your birthday? I love that place.
Yeah, you love it and all those other white-haired people.
What the hell are we?
Well, we're different.
Well, maybe you're different, but I'm just like one of those old gray-haired guys. I just want to be with my people.
Well, I don't want to be one of them either. I want to embrace my youth and my inner creativity, my inner uniqueness.
Why can't you just be yourself?
Do you think you married? Donna Reed or Betty Crocker? Listen, mister, you married a combination of Gloria Steinem and Diane Keaton.
You shouldn't use them as examples, they date you. You should use somebody like the wife on Breaking Bad. You know, she's more current.
The wife on Breaking Bad who helped her husband cook crack cocaine and launder money? That actress? Are you kidding me? You want me to have her as a role model? Oh, my. You know, I bet she had tattoos. Because every night, every episode, she was always creaming her arms, creaming her legs. It was so, you know, drama school, acting 101. Pretend you're reading a newspaper, pretend you're folding laundry, pretend you're creaming your hands. No.
Why don't you go into acting?
Me? You think I could?
Oh, I've seen some pretty amazing acting on your part, if you know what I mean.
Well, you know, I did a little acting in high school, nothing big though. I was one of the witches in Macbeth, and people said that I was pretty good, but you know, they say that older actresses have a hard time finding roles. There just aren't good roles for them anymore. I'm over the hill.
What do you mean? That's all you see on television today is mature women with psoriasis, mature women with constipation, and then there's women with those leakage problems.
That's not the kind of acting I mean anyway. I mean, they're talking about theatrical roles, and that's what I would do.
Well, I bet they get paid a ton to say that they leak.
There is no amount of money that would get me on national television to say I leak. No. I would think, though, if you wanted to be a serious actress, probably shouldn't get a tattoo. Unless you're like Angelina Jolie. And even she had to have Billy Bob removed from her wherever. Yeah, tattoos would limit my roles. Especially if I wanted to do something on the BBC, like something in Downton Abbey, you know. Sarcasm is never a good substitute for wit. Oh, I need a drink. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were a waiter. Thank you. Discussion, okay. Should we sit or stand or whatever you want? Well, we'll come in front. Good. Thank you.
We've been sitting for 4 hours.
Are you related to Jessica Tandy and Jung Cronin?
Well, we hope to become them at some time. Isn't there a younger version though? They're dead. Yes.
Just as they did, if you know people who have a whole lot of time on their hands, Jessica Cronin and Hugh Tandy, Hugh Cronin and Jessica Tandy,
Yes.
Pardon me. Okay, they did a radio series for the BBC in the 1950s, and it was just what you were doing, two people trying to live together. Matter of fact, the first
Sort of
episode.
George Burns and Gracie Allen.
Well, no, it was.
But
I mean, well, Gracie was always slightly in the fifth dimension, which we liked about. I mean, this was in the first episode. The two of them are explaining how they came to get married.
maybe we can talk about it after when we get out there. That is something I'd like to hear about, but probably
Okay.
not this right at this moment. But
Right.
thank you. Thank you.
It was very funny.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just recently started writing comedy. Before that, I really just did monologues, and I speak in a lot of accents, you know, Italian and Irish. And then I wrote a play that needed a male lead, And I was in acting school in New York, and I asked one of my fellow students if he would play the lead. And he said sure, and he showed up late, it never worked out. So Ed was always sitting at home, I'd read the play, and he would do the other part. And I thought, he'll show up on time, he lives here. So I started writing plays with us in mind, and although some of them are not us in mind, but so
You work very well together.
Yes.
43 years of marriage. You know, we're both actors and we do commercials, and we were at a commercial a couple of months ago. We both got the ad, and we were we're sitting at Starbucks and we're drinking coffee, and the director said, "Wow, you have such chemistry, it's great." And we said, "We've been together for almost 44 years. And he said, "You two know each other?" We had applied for the job separately, but we thought we got it because they saw our last names. They thought this is a married couple. But we're having a lot of fun in our retirement doing this.
Yes. That's great.
Yeah, retirement's like the best thing. You know?
The characters are very relatable.
Yeah.
Some of the to people of a certain age, they've said some of these lines before, I'm sure. And I know when we did it where we live, the one line, Hal, because how our houses are, Hal, you didn't go down the driveway with your pajamas on again. And everybody in our town goes down the driveway in their pajamas.
I do.
You do. And then sometimes, you know, Ed, he'll have like plaid ones on, trying to pretend they're pants.
I really enjoyed the play a lot.
Well, thank you.
The dialogue was really well written, and it held my attention, you know, the whole way, and the female character is very strong, and I did wonder like what she sees in him. You know, and
Yeah, I'm gonna just use that line
Yeah, that's.
later tonight.
And
Remember
that 4
that
hours
man
coming
said
home,
that?
I mean,
there's got to be more to him that attracted her to him, and kept her to stay with him.
Yeah, but he's tolerating
He
her.
listens.
Yes.
He
He's
listens.
a sounding board.
I mean, does she
Right.
really need to be gluten-free? Does she have celiac disease, or is she just, you know, is that something that's...
This woman does have to be, but the woman in the play is probably just
Yeah.
reading a new fad.
Right.
That's why I put it.
I have to tell you that, you know, this was like ice cream instead of oatmeal. We all do cold readings. We've never looked at the scripts that we're reading. We don't know
Oh.
whether they're comedies or...
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, it is, it's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
I actually got yelled at by a writer one time. I thought Joanne was going to kill him. Because you're not supposed to critique the people who are doing cold readings. But, you know, you just couldn't tell from the beginning of the script whether it was supposed to be funny or not. So this was like, you know,
We always
cream
do our
with
own
cherries
plays.
on top, because you guys are off book, totally familiar with your material.
And we didn't, and if you were reading that, we were off script too. But we do a lot of plays together
Yeah.
in New York too. And so we're so comfortable. This play, when we do it, she's folding laundry, her bra comes out. When she pretends she's whoever at the end on Downton Abbey, she has his underwear wrapped around her neck and she's folding laundry. So there's a lot of physical comedy in it that we didn't have here.
Yeah, but it was there, in your
it
face
was
and your mannerisms, it was really a lovely performance.
Thank you.
Who do you think is your audience?
Well,
The
I mean,
reason I'm asking, I have a reason for asking, but
well, I'll tell you one story. We did a play where I play Fiona. She's a former nun, Irish, and she's teaching a writing class, and the people all tell her their monologues. We play all the parts, and then the last one is someone whose monologue is so off color that it's shocking, but she doesn't get it.
oh,
And so she keeps going with it, and there's a lot of double entendre. But we did it in New York to an audience of 60 gay men. Halfway through it, they gave Ed a standing ovation halfway through the play, and that was our audience, and that was a good audience. We've never done it in our hometown, except in our house. We invited people. It's not, we never swear.
Okay.
We never swear in a play. It's just a lot of double entendre and double meanings and stuff. But, so that was our audience, but our,
Well, the reason because, I don't know, you know, the people who write, but all your references, we're old enough to get them, but if you, for a younger crowd, they're not gonna know all of your pop culture references.
well, we
Is
did
that
it
a
in a
fact? Is that a
nursing
factor? I
home,
don't
and
know.
yes, and we didn't say Breaking Bad in the nursing home, because maybe we said Helen Mirren.
Okay.
And so we changed some of the lines. We also do another play where the woman is living home in a fantasy. She's very old, she's in her 90s, and she talks to her husband that's not there. It's not a comedy. But we had to tone that down because we did it in a nursing home where there were 90% of the people were older women and not many men. So we had to change the dialogue a little.
Right.
So,
If you have a younger audience, I don't know if they would have, that's why I asked what your audience, if you had occasion for a younger audience, they may not get the.
We have a lot of friends in their 40s and 50s who got, yes. However, the one that was a little off color, my girlfriends, two of them said at the end of the play, we had no idea what you're talking about. We thought, wow, are we cool? But thank you.
One of my favorites is, and I guess it was my first role, I mean, after Nancy was kind of trying to break me into doing some acting, and it was dating in your 80s.
Online dating.
Online dating.
Yeah, and he plays, and I play the very cool woman at 80, and we meet in a restaurant, and he's just not cool. He talks on and on and on, he's not cool, he comes in, and he's shuffling, and so that was it, yeah. But you were good at that.
Was that a left-handed
Okay.
So usually after this, one thing I wanted to say before, and another thing I was thinking about, your reference was like opportunities for physical movement.
Yes, yes.
Instead of people just sitting and talking to each other.
Yeah,
It's interesting
sorry.
that you took it out for this reading. It's still a great play.
Well, thank you. And we hope to perform at Northport Place as a performance. We actually, I did submit this play, but that's how I got here. But you know, I have written in the past 2 years 6 monologues and 9 plays. So I have a lot, and I'm writing all the time. I know other
No wonder
authors
he's
here.
reading the obituary.
I'm writing in the cars, we come down, I write on the train, I'm writing all the time.
Did you just start writing?
Yes, I only started a few years ago, and I wrote a monologue, and the New York Public Library Equity Theater accepted it, and I performed it in New York, and I thought, wow, maybe I can write 2 more monologues about women and put it together, make a little show, and so that's how it started.
Have you done, you've done commercials, you said?
Yes, yeah.
So have you been in those commercials for those products on TV? Have you been in any?
Leakage or anything?
No, but I would do that if they paid enough, yeah. I mean, there's some things I wouldn't do, but that I would do. No, the commercials that we've done together and I've done are for retirement communities, but Third Love, lingerie, bras, I did a bra commercial. They were looking for diversity. It says the anti-Victoria's Secret commercial. So they had a pregnant woman, they had a woman with scars on her stomach. We didn't have to show anything really, I wore a kimono, and they wanted an older woman, and
Were they in their underwear in that commercial? Was that the?
some are in their underwear.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting on a porch in Long Island, supposedly in the Hamptons, although it was in Brooklyn. And my granddaughter has a bra on, and my daughter has a bra on in this commercial. You know, like, I don't know, grandmas, do you ever sit around having coffee with your daughter and granddaughter with their bras on? But this was the commercial. And
It was a very hot day.
It was, and I just did a music video. I didn't have to sing or anything, but I had to dance, very little, for an Israeli singer who wanted to break into music here in the United States. And so that's enough of me, but thank you.
Thank you very much.